you be afraid, everything will change. You and I, jumping off the edge. They say dreamers never die. So come and fly, come and fly, come and fly away with me. We're rising, we're falling, we're making moves. We're climbing, we're soaring, 1,000 views. We're rising, we're falling, we're making moves. We're climbing, we're soaring, 1,000 views. Come and fly away, come and fly away, come and fly away with me. Come and fly away, come and fly away, come and fly away with me. Something's gonna bring the change. Journeys we are meant to take. Something at the edge of space, calling us to fly away.
Good evening, all you beautiful people, and welcome to the Class vs. Crass Gaming Podcast. I'm your host, Hey Jay. Joining me as always, we got the bearded one to the right of me, to the left of me,
Buenos dias.
Greg, and we've
Yo.
got the cranky one, RGT85.
Hello.
And joining us tonight, we have a special guest member from the audience. We've got Treon, joining us, aka Dave. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well.
Treon,
Thanks for having me.
glad to have you here. For those who don't know, Treon's been responsible for all of the channel maintenance, clipping the Class vs. Crass podcast into the clips you find on this channel. He also forwards us the topics every week to make sure we are talking about relevant and good things. So if you don't like the topics, you can always blame this man right here.
Yeah, blame me.
Now you have a face, you have a voice to the legend. All right. If it is your first time joining us, it is a 1 hour podcast where we go over all the latest in gaming. First, we get started with what we've been playing. Then we get into the major headlines. Tonight being Xbox is doing a big oopsie with the Xbox Live Gold price hike, only to unhike it. And then we're going to be talking about a really cool gaming browser, which I was not aware of, hence why it is cool. It might be old news, but I don't care. And then we get into topics you might have missed. That's when we pretty much go through a bunch of news items in rapid fire. Maybe it's like the thunder round because it happens before the lightning round.
No, jeez.
Thunder rolls.
And then the final segment, the 15 minutes, is the lightning round. That's where we take your questions, your topics, and we call that a show. Is there anything else that I missed?
Smooth.
Is there sports happening tonight or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Some foosball.
Are you like? Is it actual foosball or is it football?
Jesus Christ. Just get on with the show.
No, seriously.
It's football.
Okay, foosball is the thing in the U.S. though, right? Because I'm not taking anything for granted anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it's a
Good old
joke.
Tabor soccer. Tabor.
Foosball. All right. Let's get started with Treon. What have you been playing?
Let's see. I got a deal on what is it? The Street Fighter 30th anniversary collection on the Switch. I watched Sean's video and decided to pull the trigger on it.
Good game.
Yeah, it is. I'm actually surprised. I played all of the older Street Fighter 2s, but I never really played 3 or much of Alpha, and I'm actually shocked at how fun those are.
Yeah, Alpha's super good. Alpha kind of sped things up, like even more so than Turbo, but it also added in like better combos and stuff. Like to me, like Alpha and Alpha 2 were like the real Street Fighter 3s. I mean, Street Fighter 3 is its own thing, but yeah.
Yeah, well, 3, I really dig the like the frames of animation, how smooth everything is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then outside of that, God, what's the other thing? Doom 64. I've been playing a ton of that on the Switch.
Oh, nice.
Trying to get to the because you can't get into the added levels until you've actually beaten the core game. So, and I've done it back on the 64, but I'm trying to chip my way through it again.
Did you play the original, right? That's what you just said.
Yes, still have it.
Nice. I have not.
Did they do some like added stuff to it too recently, or was that just?
They didn't add anything. It was more they fixed some problems with like a patch initially after release, and then they added in. I want to say it was like an additional chapter, like 7 levels or something like that, and it's supposed to link it to the Doom 2016 game.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah, so it's now part of the canon.
I don't know why my camera is so blurry. I can't fix it. Like it just
Good job, buddy.
doesn't want to do anything. I've never seen it do this. It's like pixelizing me.
You look fine on Discord. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Maybe it's just on my end then. Sorry to interrupt, Dave.
Yeah. Oh, you're fine.
Anything else?
No, those are the 2 big ones I've been playing right now.
All right. Let's go over to Sean. What have you been playing?
I played Hitman 3
Ooh.
on the Switch.
Oh, how was that?
I mean, I don't think the game is like, I don't understand why the game is getting like 9s and stuff like that. Like, I haven't played a Hitman game in well over a decade. Probably the last time I played a Hitman game was 2002 ish. and it's still the same shit. Like it almost feels like the animations are like the same from like the GameCube one. I mean, you still do the same thing. I will say it's evolved a little bit, but it definitely doesn't feel like a modern game. I don't think it's necessarily bad, but it's definitely not a $60 game in my eyes. Especially with the amount of stuff that's either out there or coming out. The Switch version in particular, I mean, it's cloud, so there is input lag. The shooting mechanics don't feel very like super responsive, but you don't shoot all that much because it's a stealth game, so you're supposed to avoid things like that. But I don't know, like it's not bad, but it's definitely at its core, it's not a great game. I think it's a good game, and then the fact that there's little inconsistencies with the Switch version just brings it down a little bit more. I'm playing Cyber Shadow, but I don't think I can talk about that.
Damn it. That's a ninja game, right? From Wave 4.
Seems like everyone's playing that, but nobody can talk about it.
Yeah, I can't talk about it till tomorrow, I believe. I mean, watch the trailer, and if you like what you see, you're gonna like the game.
Yeah.
Call of Duty, still just messing around with Nuketown 24/7. I started playing with a new gun, so that's kind of spicy, and that's about it, really.
You're really falling into the COD stuff lately.
No, just the standard Nuketown map.
All right. Greg, over to you.
Yeah, I've been pretty dismal in terms of playing games this week. I've been tinkering a lot lately and cleaning up some consoles. Like I cleaned up one of my GameCubes and fixed the door on the disk drive and stuff. And actually, for the first time in a long time, got out and hunted, for some retro stuff. Didn't really find too much. Still been on, kind of like Sean, the Call of Duty grind. I did play more of the Dirty Bomb mode in the game because one of my buddies has been playing it pretty often, and I was surprised. It's like actually pretty fun to play with friends, and
Yeah, it's not bad.
yeah, like one person gets the bomb, you have to go pick it up, and they have the suitcase, and so they only have a pistol, and so everybody else kind of huddles to protect them. But even in some cases, and you gain points, by holding it on to longer, and you have to reach the score limit. But even when there is in cases where you're trying to protect, and then you die, and then you have to wait to respawn until like the person holding the package dies too. And like I don't know, it's a lot of fun to like kind of coordinate and do all that sort of stuff. But I haven't really been playing anything else. I've been bidding on a lot of games on eBay, so I'm trying to snipe some good stuff. I almost picked up Sunset Riders for SNES for I think it was like $40, but someone got me right at the last 5 seconds, and I was pretty pissed. But I did end up getting a couple others that I wanted.
I'd imagine the collector market is quite hot since COVID, with like a lot of people just spending more time inside looking at what they have, and also being.
It's pretty ass.
I can vouch for that.
What's
Yeah,
ass?
it's
Like
like-
the market's ass?
Yeah, like there's games out there that are, like normally, $40-$50 that are like $80 and $90 now, or trash games that that you would have picked up for maybe even $15. Like somebody will mark them rare, and I don't know if it's people just trying to like cash in on the market as well, but they'll list them as rare, and they'll sell for all these crazy amounts on eBay and stuff. It's just like it almost makes it not any fun.
It hasn't been fun for a long.
That's also true.
Yeah, they're really preying on people who don't know much about the game, so they just say, "Oh, this is rare," and then a bunch of people buy into it, and it drives the price up.
I feel like the retro scene is going through what I experienced with the Star Wars scene. So I got into Star Wars in the late 90s, and that's when it was kind of going through like that renaissance. And there was legit there was some good collecting to be had. And then the prequel trilogy came out, and they knew there was a collector market, so they were like, you could buy also. I remember I went to see the Phantom Menace, and they upsold me on this like $30 book. I was like, oh, this thing's gonna be worth so much in so many years, and I bought it. It's like an art book that you got at the theater. Actually, I think I sold it. So
Terrible man.
all of that stuff was like I had a there was also like a run from like Pepsi 7 Up that had like the Star Wars character. You could get up to 24 characters. So I kept empty Pepsi cans for like 10 years, and like everybody did that. Anyone who was a Star Wars fan like hoarded all that stuff. So it was never worth
I remember
anything.
those.
Yeah. So finally, I think maybe like 5, 10 years ago, I'm just like, this stuff is all worthless. It's just in my closet doing nothing. I just sold everything, then I bought video games with it.
If you would have waited and sold them now, I'm sure you could have cashed in on some good stuff. Like, it's so weird too, like, you know, watching other markets get influenced by this. Like, my buddy picked up this, it was like a GoPro snapback hat, and nor him or nor I could figure out why it was like selling for money. Like, he saw like 2 or 3 auctions where it sold, so he bought it at a Goodwill for $3 and sold it for 70
What?
bucks. And there's like no rhyme or reason to anything. I'm telling you, it's madness.
It's
Yeah.
it's weird.
Well, the Star Wars stuff has been on a rise because Mandalorian made the series actually good again.
That's true.
But then that must be very
Popularity of it.
specific. Like I imagine any of the sequel trilogy things will be worthless.
Yeah, I don't ever see those going up, but even old prequel stuff has actually started to go back up. Not huge, but it has started to spike back up.
Because that audience
just
is now at the
nostalgia.
age.
Yeah.
So, see, I lived through that whole prequel hate, and I have to admit, I didn't necessarily love it, but with all of the TV series that came out, the Clone Wars, the Rebels, all that, it really created more value, I think, in the story of the prequels, and I think I'll tie that to the nostalgia. You're right. But that ship has sailed. I no longer have any prequel Star Wars things. I even had some like really cool vinyls, which I sold, which I regret because now I got the Hollow Knight vinyl. I'm like, I had the original Star Wars soundtrack and the Empire Strikes Back vinyls.
Nice.
Well, there's a collector out there who's happier with it.
Mm-hmm.
Probably a thousandaire.
Yeah. I'll stick. Anyways, over in my house, I've actually been playing a VR game. I'm sad to say. I've gone into Beat Saber because it's the only form of exercise I can get. And have you guys played Beat Saber ever?
Yes.
No, but I hear people like it.
I haven't really messed with it.
It's probably the only VR game I will vouch for and say this is the one you have to play because I mean you're holding 2 lightsabers and it's a rhythm game and you just feel like a total badass. And like, other people will sometimes want to film and it's like you never want to watch yourself play Beat Saber. You just want to feel yourself play Beat Saber.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, why haven't you been streaming?
Because it
this?
doesn't look good at all. It's probably
Yeah,
like
but
I
it would be
probably
hilarious for us.
I probably
that's
just
what
look like
matters.
doing this, but like in my mind I'm like a freaking Jedi like slicing a whole like droid army, but
Let me ask you too, because I felt, well, I won't say how I felt about it, but
how did
like,
you now
did,
there's
did you watch anybody else play it before you played it?
yes.
Did you feel like it was exactly like you thought it was going to be? Like, did that like ease like the learning curve when you started playing it?
No, because when you start, it's fast. Like depending on where you go. Like I remember when I started, I think I started on normal, and I felt that was fast. Like, it was coming at me, and there'd be times I'd get overwhelmed. And now, like this morning I was playing it, and hard mode felt a little slow. Like I'm on the cusp of graduating from hard to expert, but like a lot of the times I'm getting destroyed in expert. But like once you get to the rhythm, once you know the songs, once you start learning like the moves, like there's sometimes like I'm not a dancer by any means. I do not know how to dance. Sorry to burst.
vouch for this.
Sorry to burst your bubble there, but like sometimes I actually feel like I'm learning dance moves. I'm like, whoa, I feel like a dancer, but like I would never want to see me actually make these moves because I'm probably look like some stiff cardboard man just going like chop 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 chop.
Yeah. I don't know, I felt that was at least like watching other people play, and it's like, oh, this is exactly what they were doing. And like then I played a couple songs, and then I bought the Monster Cat pack on there because it was on sale, and those are already some of the songs that I knew anyway, so it was much easier for it to kind of transition into that.
Sometimes there's some good songs that feels like I got the Linkin Park kit, and sometimes like it just feels like you're not dancing, but instead you're playing drums with your sabers. Sounds pretty cool. So, anyways, outside of VR, I've been playing some Castlevania: Lords of Shadow. Game's getting a little bit worse. It's losing some of its charm.
No, it's the
tried to
greatest,
warn you.
greatest game
Oh
ever.
my
You love
god,
it.
I've been warning you for so long about this.
I'm only on chapter 3, guys. Cut me some slack. I have so much Castlevania ahead of me. I'm not looking forward to how much worse it's gonna get. I played an indie game called Foregone, which was a Metroidvania, and I was not impressed. It was beautiful visuals. It looks like Dead Cells, uses the Dead Cells visuals, but the menus are simplistic. I couldn't even see like most of my health bar because the screen resolution was outside. I was playing on the PS4, by the way. Maybe it's better on Steam, and the gameplay just did not feel polished at all. Like your hero can move, enemies attack, but it just does not connect. Like there's no rhyme or reason why enemies are on the map, where they're on the map. There's no sense of growth. It's just I would say skip it. And then did a bit more Fortnite grinding. Still trying to get my level 100 Mandalorian Beskar armor, which is hard. It's hard to do. I think that's it. Been taking a break on Immortals. You all right there?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I'll go and play Immortals if it really upsets you that much.
I'm playing Cyber Shadow.
Immortals it's interesting because I've been praising that game a lot, and I've made it to a point where I've finished the main objective, and I feel like I'm like, okay, I've had enough of this game. Like I'm okay to step away from it for a bit before diving back into it. It's kind of the stage where the game encourages you to go out and kind of clean up the map, and then before you go somewhere. So yeah, there's a bit of a lull in the game and the story. Is there an echo? Or are people saying it's down?
Apparently Sean is echoing. I don't know why.
Oh.
I'm not hearing it.
No, neither am I.
Hello.
No, we're good. All right, let's get into our headlines, let's start with this Xbox Live Gold.
Oh, jeez.
And why it should go away. So, for those who don't know, Xbox announced, I think it was Friday, maybe it was Thursday, Xbox Live Gold would be doubling in price from $60 a year to $120 a year. And that's, correct me if I'm wrong, that grants you multiplayer access on your Xbox, and you get a few free games per month, right?
Correct.
So no other competitor is priced that high. PlayStation, it's $60 a year, and you get games and you get online. Anyways, they got a massive backlash, and then they came back the same day and they said, we messed up. We're sorry. We're bringing it back to the original price, and free-to-play games are now going to be free to play online. So people are actually getting more now. But I have to say, I feel like Xbox Live Gold needs to go away. It's a relic of its time. It makes a ton of money for Xbox, I get it. But now with Game Pass, I feel that they can do a much better value there. What do you guys think?
Yeah, there's no rhyme or reason for Game Pass to just involve playing games on Xbox Live and all that crap, and then you're fine. You don't have to worry about all the other stuff. I don't understand why it's still a thing, except that, it's people who are lazy and don't update their information are still signed up for it.
Yeah.
Are you guys signed up?
No,
I have the silver account. I've never paid for it.
Yeah, I feel like always just kind of had it, but I feel like, not necessarily because I'm too lazy to take it down, but like some of the wanting to keep it for my gamer tag, or occasionally I will go and play, stuff on Xbox Live. But the thing that bothers me most about it is that, it was so easily, you see this happen, pretty often with gaming companies, oh, there's no easy way to do this. There's no on or off switch. And then they just fucking prove that there was. And I think that's dog shit. Like for the consumer, for them to like push a button to raise price. Oh, now we're dialing it back. Like I think that's very off-putting. And second point is that like how does Microsoft manage to like mess up so many good things that they have going for themselves like for no reason? Like they're running out of feet to shoot.
Or feet to put in their mouths. What
Yeah.
was there a reason that went out of why they were increasing price?
No.
If I'm going conspiracy theory, it might have been a way to get more attention on it, and the fact that they were rolling back the requirement for the free-to-play games. Because otherwise that would have just flown under the radar. But that's been something that's irritated people for a while, that they've had the pay requirement in order to access stuff like Netflix and free-to-play.
Wait, you needed gold to have access to Netflix?
Yes.
Oh, you did?
Wow.
Yep. It was something that ticked people off for quite some time. Any of the stuff that was essentially free on any of the other systems, you always had to have that paywall.
And they wanted to
Yeah,
charge more for this?
Yes.
Yeah, games like Fortnite and shit, you had to pay in.
Yeah, and I think
Sony
that's like
and Nintendo, you don't have to, but you had to with Microsoft. Now they're rolling that back.
Right. But before the rollback, like if I want to watch YouTube on my Xbox, I would have to pay for that?
Yes. Pretty much anything that had to connect to the internet to do something, you had to have live.
That is wild. That's weird.
I remember reading over the years and people always being irritated about that.
Yeah.
which is like who doesn't have a smart TV nowadays? Like
It's an old thing.
Yeah.
I remember when Xbox Live Gold was announced like over a decade ago, and even then to me it was wild of like who would pay to play online when you can just go on a PC? Like to me I was still in the space that if I want to play with friends, I would go on my PC. That was just pretty much your only option. And I remember when I first no, there was no play. You'd have to pay for a PlayStation Online for PlayStation 2, right?
PlayStation 2, no, it didn't have
PlayStation,
traditional.
even PlayStation
online.
3 was free for the most part.
Okay, I was just because I stepped out of consoles for PC around that era. So when I came back to consoles, it was so weird because I wanted to play I think it was called Star Wars Galaxy. And I'm like, I'm going to play it on PS2. I'm going to buy a PS2. And then they're like, okay, well, you're going to have to buy it was the fat PS2. So you have to buy the Ethernet adapter. I'm like, okay, well, that's another
I'm
charge.
sure it wasn't Battlefront.
It wasn't Battlefront. It was Galaxy. It was an MMO.
No, Galaxy, I don't think was on the PS2. I think that was PC only. Final Fantasy 11 was the big online one for the PS2.
Get wrecked, Jason.
Excuse me if I don't have a perfect memory of my teenage years, sir.
Well, I mean, this is the crux of your whole story.
Okay, let's just say I was looking. Actually now this story doesn't make any sense. Hang on, let me look at this.
oh, now you're just making stuff up, Jason. Great.
Yeah, really.
Let's say
Oh my
hypothetically.
fucking god! I made it to the checkpoint.
Congrats.
Thank you so much.
So we all know it's a hard, frustrating game.
It's good though.
Great.
Yeah, Galaxies was only on Windows.
Okay, so let's just say hypothetically there was a game I was looking at that was exciting. I don't remember what it was, but it was an MMO. I swear that Galaxy was available on the PS2. I'm gonna have to look more into this.
No, the PS2 was pretty limited in terms of the online games that it had.
Yeah, you can swear all you want. It doesn't mean it's
Wait,
gonna happen.
wait. I think I have
A boner.
potentially.
I'm going to lean towards Battlefront is what you're thinking
It
of.
was bad. That was the only online PS2 Star Wars game.
Okay, in 2002, LucasArts said both Xbox and PlayStation 2 would get a version of the game. However, both versions were canceled. Okay, so I was looking. This makes sense again. I was looking into getting it, and I was like, okay, I have to buy an adapter. So I'm buying a PlayStation 2, so that's expensive. And then I have to buy an Ethernet adapter. I'm like, ugh. And then I have to buy the game. That's normal, of course. But then I'm like, wait,
On the hard drive.
maybe I forgot about that part. But then I'm like, wait, this was also my introduction to MMOs. I'm like, I have to pay monthly just to play the game on top of buying the game. And then, fast forward 5-6 years, and then you've got the PlayStation Plus, Xbox Live Gold. I'm just like, this is so dumb. Why would anyone want to play multiplayer on consoles? And now here we are. And it's still happening.
Getting nickel and dimed.
Yeah.
I just don't understand, like, at this point, like, if we're getting to the point where the two are merging, Game Pass Ultimate and Xbox Live Gold. I wish they would just conjoin the two if they're going to do that, or make a decision, because it's not like they can't, like I said, just flip a switch and migrate accounts, or figure out a way to have users migrate their accounts anyways, because like, and it's weird too, I canceled Game Pass Ultimate at one point and then renewed my subscription, but I did like the dollar for 3 months. And so, like, I mean, it didn't bother me too much to miss out on those games that I wasn't playing anyways for a couple months, and then just get back into it for the newer ones that came out. So
I think it's silly at this point that Xbox has two online services. They have Game Pass and they have Live Gold. A year or
They have
two,
more. They got Game Pass Ultimate. They got
they
Game
are
Pass
the masters of
PC.
marketing. Don't diss Xbox.
a confused buyer buys nothing.
Yeah. So a year or two ago, I'd forgive them because Game Pass was not proven. Remember, we're all like, oh, this is gonna sink. And now it's kind of turned the corner, and it's like, all right, Game Pass is cool. Game Pass is everybody loves Game Pass. Let's get Game Pass. And now you just got this massive flub with Xbox Live Gold. Now's the time. Put them together. Call it Game Pass, and if you want to charge more for some online BS, you call it Game Pass
It's
Plus.
It's almost like these companies aren't your friends. They just care about money.
Why can't
Exactly.
we be friends?
Like, I don't understand why people don't see that.
Yeah,
They just keep drawing that line further and further, and people just keep going along with them.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
I saw some of that thread going on Twitter, and then someone was like, "It's like they're out there to make money."
How dare they?
Yeah.
How dare they?
Fucking A. What a concept.
Any other thoughts on Xbox Live Gold in general before we move on to the next topic?
No, but this boss was a two-parter. It fooled me. But I beat him. Suck my ass. It's not three.
I've only ever heard you use that expression, and it sounds so much dirtier. Like it's like you've mashed up two vulgarities into a worse vulgarity. There's like suck my D or like kiss my ass, but no, you just suck my ass, which is just so much grosser.
But I mean, everybody talks about eating ass on social media anyway.
Do they? What social media do you follow?
All of it. All of it.
I have none of that in my social feed. And Sean, I follow Sean.
All right, we got another upgrade.
I don't think Sean's that vulgar online.
He's very.
I'm usually not.
There's Sean in
Yeah.
private, and then there's Sean on Twitter, which is like, how
Yeah.
do you do, fellow
Yeah,
gamers?
right.
Watch my video.
I'm trying to get canceled.
He saves that for like Spawncast in here when he can tell his stories.
Even at
Yeah,
convention.
That's why I do podcasts, just so I could relax a bit more.
Didn't you used to work with Spawnwave, Dave?
Yes. John actually lives like, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes from me.
Are you in Maryland or Delaware?
Delaware. I'm middle of the state.
Oh, I lived in Wilmington for a year.
Yeah.
So you worked with him
No.
before he took off on YouTube, right?
Yeah. He used to do repairs he had his own game shop, and then once his closed down, he came down and worked for ours doing repairs. So I'd get to see him do like reballing of the Xbox 360s and the PS3s and stuff. I mean, he's really good at what he does.
That's cool. Was it a mom and pop game shop or like?
Yeah. Actually, he did a video early 2018, I think, and it was specifically around a shop that was closing down. That's the shop that I used to work at with him.
Oh, cool.
Wow.
So he was your junior.
No, actually, because he had been working at his own shop there for much longer than I
okay,
was.
okay.
Yeah, but then when they had to shut down, then he came down, and then that was around the time that he had started up doing YouTube, and he was already up to like 30 or 40,000 subscribers within like a couple months. So
Yeah, he grew quick.
oh yeah, he blew up something
I
fierce.
think he went like low thousands to 100,000 in the span of like 4 or 5 months, something like that. It's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, our next topic then is this It's Opera, right? Do you guys remember the browser Opera?
Yeah, it was on the Wii.
Was that the Wii's browser?
That's what drove. Was it just the Wii, or did it also drive the Wii U?
It might have been on the Wii. I specifically remember it on the Wii.
Yeah.
Was it
Yeah, I
was
just
it
remember the
labeled? It
logo.
wasn't labeled. Was it labeled Opera on the Wii?
I think so. I want to say it had like a circular like loading,
Yeah.
Anyways,
but
It's been around for a while.
I remember
Yeah,
hearing the name, but I've never
Internet
used it.
channel.
So Opera, they've bought out the owners of Game Maker for their new gaming division. And while that's an interesting story, so they bought Yo-Yo Games, which was acquired for about $10 million, that's one story that we're going to break down in a moment. But first, this brought to my attention that they have Opera GX, which I'm going to show all of you right now. Not you guys in Discord, but the viewers. So this is a browser that they're building for gamers, quote unquote, because this looks like someone, I don't know. I wouldn't want a browser with this much flashiness to it. But I could be wrong. I look at Greg's room and I'm like, this browser would fit in Greg's room.
that's just my crushing anxiety
Have you seen the browser? Here, I'll link it to you.
expressed in room form.
Well, this one probably won't help. It's like everything is red. But it's got like that cut. It kind of looks like anything that you would see come out from like Razer or any of those other gaming accessory, like gaming mouse, gaming keyboard. And I don't know why we would need a gaming browser. Like, is it just the looks, or does it do?
I mean, I just signed up to potentially do a sponsored video for them, so I'm not going to talk shit.
Say all the bad shit right now, so that there's a redemption
I'm trying
arc.
No, I think it's got like integration with like Discord, and I watched a little because I watched someone else's ad on, just to see like what they wanted or whatever. I think it looks fine. I think there's a market for it. It's free. Is it a free browser?
I assume it's going to be free. They're still building it.
Pretty
So
sure.
it's in beta.
It's always been free as far as I know, so I can't
That's what I
imagine
mean.
it's starting to charge for it.
As Gintoki says, oh, this browser is really cool. You can really multitask.
So there's RAM limiters, CPU limiters, Twitch integrations, Discord integrations.
Well, that's actually useful then, because like if you ever looked at how much RAM Chrome eats up when you're
Oh God.
yes.
like, there's no reason for it to remotely use any. I mean, I've looked at it one time because I have 32 gigs, and at one point it was using like 16. And I'm like, for what? Like my Gmail?
Yeah, I have 16, and I've had once or twice, just because I have so many tabs open, I've had my machine just completely dump out at me at certain points.
Okay. You can actually pick your color, and it's pretty cool. Like you can change the RGB on this.
What? Did you get a sponsorship opportunity?
It's just
with them too?
no.
Change
So
your screen?
so you haven't figured out my 2021 strategy. You hate on something, and then they come at you, and then you do the whole redemption arc, and they're like, "Oh, this is so interesting." You get character development, and that's how you grow a channel. Worked for Monster Hunter, unintentionally.
Yeah,
Oh, you're riding that wave.
shit all over it. Men love it.
Seriously though, I didn't scroll this far down until now. There's quite a few. Oh, there's integrated messenger. I don't know if I want that.
But see,
Video pop
I
out.
mean, I get that to a certain degree, because then you're not using like, again, the whole RAM usage. You're not having, all your Chrome tabs, and then plus if you're, using any sort of, anything like Discord, and you want it active in your browser, then you can have something else instead of your personal browsing tabs, through Chrome or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, there's a free built-in VPN. So
That's dope.
that
That's cool.
here, I'm gonna link you
All the
guys.
porn.
If you guys want to check
And
it
I
out.
don't think that would counteract with my current VPN sponsor built in. It's not a separate VPN. They can't complain.
There's a built-in ad blocker, which interesting that they put that in.
Ooh,
there.
I don't like that.
You do not like
Oh
that?
man, it's Windows only.
No, because does that work on YouTube?
Probably.
Then no, I don't like
Exactly.
it.
Yeah. Background music. You can put background music in your browser, so you can put like whatever.
I don't know how I feel
music you
about
want.
this now. Look at you promoting it.
For free, right?
Did you know you can put it in the background in your browser?
Anyways, I'm just like, there's a lot of features in this. This is interesting. Okay, sponsor this podcast. We'll talk about it more in a positive light.
Yay.
All right, but the story is they bought Game Maker, which makes you go, what is Opera up to here? Game Maker Studio 2 was the most recent one, and they made some of the games like, do you guys know any games that were built in Game Maker?
Undertale,
I've seen that there's yeah.
That's a big
Hyperlight Drifter. Oh god, there's more off the top of my head. Was the Contra looking one that was relatively recent? Something Chrome.
Chrome. What is
I
it?
know what you're talking
Blazing
about.
Chrome.
Blazing Chrome.
Yes,
Isn't that like extremely short?
the game.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, well, most of the Contras are pretty short too.
that's true.
But it was hard. Like that's what. If this is the
Yeah.
one I remember, I think I played this on stream. It was.
I've
brutally
used
hard.
the engine myself, and it's a pretty powerful game engine. It's real easy with like drag and drop, and the programming language is real easy to understand. So, like any newbie who gets into it, it's a perfect startup engine.
Isn't
And it's supported on pretty much every platform as well. Like it has modules for Switch, PS4, PS5. Like it supports everything.
Isn't it? As far as I know, you have the big game engines. You have Unity and you have Unreal, and then Game Maker is kind of like the third most popular choice as far as I know. Is that right?
Yeah, it's very accessible. They have a free to start version, so you can actually mess around with it to see if it suits your style. There's a couple of guys that I follow on YouTube who actually do like tutorials and stuff to walk you through how to use it.
So yeah, that's that has a lot of potential. I mean, I don't know much about Opera. I don't know what they can do, but if they're acquiring this, I assume they have a 5 to 10 year plan, which could bring a whole other competitor to the market of game engines. So, do we benefit as
Well,
consumers?
it's already there. It's just it's going to give them the chance to expand it much more.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So curious to see where that's going to go, and if anyone does try out this Opera browser, actually, you know what? I think I might just try it out.
I might be trying it out soon.
So I'm curious.
So next
I
week,
I did download
you
it.
guys.
Yeah. Be suspicious if you got RGT going. This is the best browser, guys. I can
No,
put
I
on
don't
all
do
my
shit like that. Sponsor spots only. I'll talk about whatever it is.
Yeah. Would you take Hey Jay sponsorship money?
Fuck no.
I mean, sure, if you know my rates.
Would you speak positively of the Hey Jay brand?
If you match my rate, yeah.
Rate just went up.
Hey, can
No,
I
my
put
rates
a
are pretty.
can I put
Yeah,
Hey Jay
flat
on my
across the board.
spandex?
What? In or on?
On. So I'm doing this powerlifting competition.
As long as it doesn't like stretch out
Next-
my
next
face
month.
when you're flexing or something, I'm okay with that.
I want your face on
I
it.
just don't want it stretched when you're flexing. And is it like on
And
the
it just
back
says,
side?
Class versus Crass, a gaming podcast, and it just has a picture of your face on it.
No. What you got to do is you got to do on like the pants on the back. You got to put the Hey Jay caricature of him on one side, on one cheek, and then the Hey Jay eats on the other cheek.
Oh,
That'd be good.
Eat my peach.
damn. You guys are creative. All right, let's get into this new segment of headlines you might have missed, starting with, did you know Blizzard merged with Vicarious Visions, the company that was responsible for the Tony Hawk and Crash Bandicoot remake?
Damn shame.
So this was a fairly small studio, 200 people. I think it's a loss for consumers,
Mhm.
Yes, definitely.
but the only thing I think cool is I think Vicarious Visions was an East Coast based studio, so it's cool to now have Blizzard personnel on the East Coast. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
great.
shame because I mean, the Blizzard of now is kind of trash, and Vicarious Visions is a much better company. Like,
Yeah.
what they were able to pull out, like if you look at stuff that they did on like the DS and even stuff that they did on like the Wii U and more modern systems, their technical capabilities are actually really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Like especially they're they're the first ones that when I looked at even like the Crash Bandicoot remakes, it was like this feels modern. It looks modern. Like and you're not like damaging the source material. But it also makes me wonder like what's going to happen to other smaller studios out there that aren't, a part of the Microsoft acquisition, that aren't a part of the Sony acquisition, that aren't, part of Blizzard now.
Oh, they're gonna get
Like
sucked up.
what do they just shrivel up and die? What are they going to have even more problems breaking into these consoles? Or, it feels weird. It doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
I think there's kind of this new. So couple last gen we had what they call the indie revolution, and that's when tools to make games became more accessible than ever, which led to an oversaturation of games. And out of that, a lot of studios died, and then some moved on to be mid-size. And now I feel we're seeing a lot more of a trend of the larger studios now gobbling up all these mid-size studios, or mid-size studios merging with others and then gobbling up the smaller ones. And you're kind of seeing a lot of roll-up. I don't know what's
Fruit,
what's that?
fruit roll up.
Yeah, they're delicious. What that's going to lead to, I don't know. If anybody has more business insight than I do in like another industry that did this, because it's not uncommon, but I don't know what the next wave is.
I honestly think this is just Blizzard. A lot of key people have left. They've had problems. This is a way for Activision to kind of shore up those
Oh,
faults.
Agreed.
Yeah.
that's not going to last long, because then those people are just going to leave and
Yeah.
make their own studio.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna get like the same like Sledgehammer, Raven, Infinity Ward, that churn and burn. Like, give us one new title every year, and like we've already seen the depletion quality of Call of Duty over the years, especially. Although like Black Ops Cold War is fun, like you can tell that more time was spent curating the Modern Warfare experience, and it's visible in many ways, but I can't blame them for looking out for number one, like I said in the chat themselves.
Yeah.
You're the bag.
All right, next headline, we've got a new crossover. Hang on, what's this game called? SNK vs. Capcom: The Match of the Millennium is potentially coming out to the Switch. This is a game I know nothing about from IPs I know nothing about, but I'm sure Sean would love it.
It's nothing new. It's the Neo Geo Pocket version.
Right.
Yeah, but the bigger deal is that it shows that the two companies are willing to work together again, so that might
True.
get us like a next gen version.
Or at least they don't even need it next. Just give me Capcom versus SNK 2 port or something like.
You mean the one that was on the GameCube?
Yes.
Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to the Tatsunoko versus Capcom series?
Didn't that die on the
Well,
Wii?
it wasn't. It was one and done because
Yeah, that was arcade, and then the Wii was the only port. Great game though.
it was great, but like a lot of people didn't, myself included, had no idea who the Tatsunoko people were.
I don't know who they are.
I was
I
like,
know
okay, I'm
some
gonna
of
play
them.
Capcom people. Thank you.
Okay, so I am blurry. I don't know Gintoki. My camera decided to be blurry tonight.
It's fine. It helps the stream.
Yeah, okay.
People don't want to see you anyway.
Nobody wants to see you. Next, we have a demo for this shitty game called Balan Wonderland coming later this month. Probably want to skip
bite
it.
your tongue.
Balloon Wonderoo.
Balloon Wonderoo?
Yeah.
Balance underwear.
It's it's some kind of Dreams clone.
Okay. First off,
Knights.
moron. You almost got me
Comes the
canceled
night
because I almost said a word that you could say back in the day, but you can't say it now. It's a Knights. It's made by Yuji Naka, who is like the father of Sonic and the creator of Knights. It was one of the main Sonic team people. It's a fun, fantasy-filled 3D action platformer, which is right up your alley. So I don't know why the sass is going on with this game.
Because I didn't like it.
Didn't he do?
I didn't like Knights. I spent money on Knights as per your recommendation. and I
Watch,
was-
okay, but it's not Knights because you're not flying. It's just the visual style and the characters look like the characters from the Knights universe.
Oh.
Watch the damn
Well,
trailer.
that's a
There's like
fantastic
million
game that we
trailers.
should all try out on a demo at the end of this month.
I mean,
I
yeah,
think
it's a
I'm-
demo anyways, so it's not like it's going to cost you anything.
I might be previewing it over on PC Invasion, but
Oh, really?
I'm
I
very
loved
excited.
his what was it, Rodea? Not on the Wii U, but Rodea the Sky Soldier on the Wii.
The Wii one
that
was
game
good.
is
The Wii,
awesome.
the Wii U and the 3DS one were
Oh,
dog
those
shit.
are hot trash.
I remember that being poo-poo.
I gave it a bad review.
No, the Wii version is great though. It's a shame that they didn't like do specifically that version and throw it up on the HD.
Okay,
Jesus Christ, I need a checkpoint.
next up we have an early build of Zelda 64 was discovered inside an F-Zero X development cartridge. Modders or hackers, whatever you want to call them, are now pulling all those assets to put together, I think, a demo from Nintendo World. It's cool. It's a cool find. Any other thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think Hard for Games is the one who found it.
Yeah, they find all sorts of that weird stuff.
What's cool was actually seeing like an N64 cartridge tower. Like it's double in size of a regular cartridge. Let me show you guys the cartridge.
You've never seen those before?
I have not.
Oh, okay.
Look at that thing. The fat
Big boy.
big boy. Next up, we have former EA and Xbox executive Peter Moore coming back to the.
Fuck Peter Moore.
I put this on specifically because I knew that Sean would tear into him.
He's coming back into the gaming
Why?
industry
Nobody wants you.
to work at Unity. Don't worry, it's not touching a game.
I don't want him anywhere near anything video game related.
Peter Moore and Molyneux are two
Fuck
people.
all,
that-
yeah, dude. And you know what? I'm gonna throw a third in there. Cliffy B.
Oh,
Who's that? What's okay? This is gonna sound terrible. I just remember him as the bald guy who went from Xbox. He was responsible for the Xbox One launch to the Stadia launch. Who's that guy?
Oh,
Do you guys know?
He was only there. Wasn't he there only there for a little bit?
what the hell's his name?
Like he's responsible for so many bad launches, and he keeps getting hired.
At least he's not Peter Moore though. He can at least rest his head at night knowing he's not Peter Moore.
What's his?
And you know who we need to start considering for that list too, and it really breaks my heart to say it.
Oh,
John Romero.
really?
oh, you tore into him.
Like it's literally the fall of an icon. And it's almost like, was he a one-trick pony?
Aw.
Yes. Didn't you play Daikatana?
Oh.
Yes.
Man, that thing was crap.
Like what games beyond the ones that we know did he make that were good? Like you got your Doom, you got your Hexen, you got Wolfie. Let's look at his list here. So let's start. Okay, so Doom, Final Doom,
Did he make a
Doom
shooter
64.
recently?
He was a part of that. Okay, he did. He was involved in Red Faction. I can give him that.
Empire
Area
of Sin.
50, Area 51. That was good. The consoleized first person shooter. But
But I did see something in Area 51, like was developed as another game. It was some guy I saw on TikTok, and like had made like some of the designs and stuff, and then it was like lifted and then turned into Area 51 down the road.
really,
Yeah, it was something along those lines, and I was like, I actually like that game, but it turns out it's
like I want to like him, but his track record. I mean,
He's like if
he's living on the glory days.
if you didn't grow up in the '90s,
Yeah.
is there a reason to fangirl over him? Right?
No. He's always presented himself as a rock star, but he only had that one game that he was really riding off of. Because that was all the hype for Daikatana, and it came out and it was like a wet fart. I was working in a store at the time that thing came out, and you can't believe how many people returned it just pissed off with it.
I just
blame
watched. I
him.
watched the re-res video on that. It's the only
Yeah.
only site I saw that. All right, get your questions ready. We have a few more topics to go through here. We've got Tencent, who acquires another company. Well, no, they acquired a major stake in Clay Entertainment, which is I think they're a Canadian developer who made Don't Starve. So interesting.
Canada selling out to China.
Well, we also had another studio acquired by Nintendo recently.
who's that?
Next level.
Next level.
Oh,
Oh,
I thought you meant someone else.
No.
recently. You gotta learn with news, man. Like after like 3 days,
Oh, come
it's
on.
over.
No, I work in weeks. Pikmin 3 Deluxe is now officially the best-selling entry in Japan. And I was I don't know if okay, here's how. Okay,
Maybe they'll get us that Pikmin 4.
this was physical sales in Japan. So for
Which
comparison,
is supposedly done forever.
Pikmin 3 Deluxe 500,000 units sold. The original Pikmin 500,000 units. Pikmin 2 just under 500,000. And then it drops to 250,000 for the new Play Control Pikmin 2. Pikmin 3 on the Wii U 250,000. New Play Control Pikmin less than 250,000.
Well, new play control doesn't really count.
And then Hey Pikmin, I forgot about that game. That's at the bottom.
I actually like that game. I know everyone loves to hate on it, but I actually really enjoyed that one.
I did not play it. Has anyone?
There's a demo on the 3DS. If
Of
you ever wanna
course.
try
Oh, I
it.
didn't die.
And if you're a physical 3DS hunter, a lot of stores are starting to finally purge their like excess 3DS stock. So I even saw some good ones at a Target locally that I hadn't seen in a long time. So if you get the chance, start shopping them.
Did you what'd you go back there to grab?
Oh,
Fucking
a long time ago in a galaxy far away,
What?
I met one of the artists from. I always thought it was Clay, but maybe it's Clay. I don't know. But they had like this EA showcase where we used to go over the summer, and they had like, previewed all their games and stuff. But I got to get a little caricature drawing that they had there. I guess he was like one of the studio. I don't know if he was just an artist or co-founder, but they did Shank and Shank 2, which was like a 2D like side-scrolling beat 'em up that was like pretty violent.
Oh,
Like you could chainsaw people in half. It was like on Xbox 360, PS3 era.
it's a very cool piece of collection there.
August 24th, 2010.
Wow.
Jeez.
Wow.
Fuck me.
And then
What are your thoughts? Oh, sorry.
lastly, we have Star Fox and Tingle designer Takaya Imamura, who leaves Nintendo after 3 decades. They probably wouldn't let him draw Tingle anymore.
I mean, 3 decades. You put in your work.
But why not just retire at that point? Like, what else?
He did.
Yeah.
Oh, was
I
that
didn't
it? Was
round
it retirement? I thought.
Yeah, that's what
I thought he's like, I'm out of here. I quit. I'm gonna go work at, I don't know where, but okay. So he retired. Well, good on him. That's the one.
Come on, Jason, just pull some more facts out of thin air. Let's go.
That is the one that I did not read. I read all the other articles. I swear. All right, and that's it. That's the end of our news you might have missed.
What are your thoughts on Balan Wonderland in-game models compared to cinematic trailers for the Dream Worlds? I think everything looks spectacular.
Sounding a little raspy there.
Man,
This is why I don't do news videos, guys. I only do review videos of things I actually play and touch or eat.
Hot.
Yeah, when is that starting back up?
Soon. I'm feeling better, so soon.
That's good.
All right, lightning round. Let's.
that was one of the questions.
Well, It's official now. Lightning round's official. While we wait for that, I just want to show this off. I'm not known to be an animator. In fact, I am not an animator. As some of you know, I've pledged to complete Monster Hunter World after this whole like little Monster Hunter experience on my channel. So that's starting this Thursday on my stream, and I realized a lot of people are following to see this. So I spent like 4 hours yesterday doing a new Twitch alert, and I am super proud of it. So now all of you have to look at it. Look at this thing. So now every time that there's something that happens on the Twitch thing, starting this Thursday, you're going to see these swords clash. You're not seeing the audio right now. This is just the visuals, but it's going to go like, you're going to get like the sound of the swords unsheathing, clashing, and then like swooshing. And that's like, boom. That took 4 hours to make. Go on.
What is okay? We'll go with this one. Canadian bacon versus regular bacon. Canadian bacon is just the ham.
Canadian bacon sucks.
So I'll take regular bacon.
Regular bacon.
And that's coming from a Canadian.
Yeah. Oh, I guess NASCAR was announced for Switch or something.
Yep, it was announced today.
Do
I played
Canadians call
NASCAR
Canadian
'98
bacon?
on the Sega Saturn way more than anyone should have. But I had that. What's it? Molly Hatchet. Is that the name? I'm down the road, I'm flirting with disaster.
Why are you screaming into my ear?
Wow. I'm about to listen to it now. What is the first Resident Evil one should play, and why was the cast yesterday all wrong? The first one anyone should play is Resident Evil fucking 1, and I don't understand why anyone thinks differently.
Why?
But
Why one?
why would you play Resident Evil 1 first? Because it's the first game in the franchise. It incorporates the lore and why you're doing what you're doing, who these characters are, what Umbrella is.
Oh, okay.
That's it. So like Star Wars, a lot of people have their opinions on where to start, and some people say 4, 5, and 6 with the original trilogy, and then you watch the other ones. But I agree with Sean, like to that degree. I think you should play them in the order that they released, because you get an appreciation, especially like Resident Evil 0. That's still, I don't know why, it's like one of my favorite Resident Evil titles, and I've managed to play Revelations. Didn't finish Revelations 2, played 2 through 7, almost didn't finish 7. But then I don't know, I played the remakes, got to review them, but I'm really looking forward to and appreciating more what Village is. I'm actually like staying like pretty low key away from it. I haven't really looked at the trailers. I didn't watch the recent event on the 21st just because I want to be like surprised.
I've never played Resident Evil.
I hate you.
We're gonna have you go through that.
I know, you guys are dragging me through all the franchises. Play Castlevania, play Monster Hunter, love Dark Souls.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Play video games. What a concept.
I play all these other ones. Do you guys play all the games I play?
No, I have good taste.
You have dark tastes. Doesn't even play Hollow Knight, doesn't play Hades, yet he says good taste, right?
I'm playing Cyber Shadow, bitch. Are you?
You being paid to play it?
No.
Okay. Will you?
I know Sean was suspiciously silent on the Spawncast last night when Hades started coming up in the beginning.
Oh, not so vocal in the other group.
No, they know I won't play it.
Okay, are you gonna play Silksong? It's a different game.
No. Same universe.
Ooh.
Another thing I played was Age of Calamity over the week, and 91% in 47 hours, they throw a new surprise. There's another unlockable at that point, which just like, what the hell?
Gosh damn.
This game just keeps giving.
Resident Evil Village looks great, like Greg said. I actually didn't play the demo though. I just want to go in fresh because I knew the demo would be stupid anyways. 10 minutes long. Why are people talking about a Resident Evil 4 remake? Because Capcom pretty much said it was happening in their internal documents.
Yeah.
Will One Up Arcade bring House of the Dead to their machines? I believe so. They've already worked with Sega. I was actually expecting it to be at CES this year. I think they're holding it off until summer for a Christmas release, though. But yes, I fully expect it to be one of their games this year. And then it's going to be annoying because I got to buy a house. Are you going to give Miss... No, hell no, I'm not giving Miss Click that Resident Evil book because it's $100 book. I didn't realize it.
What book?
Damn.
Yeah, that Resident Evil Archives book. I remember I bought it for like $10 when I worked at GameStop.
Oh, I had both those at one point.
Dude, the second one is like $200. I don't have the second one.
I sold mine off like a couple of years ago because I needed some cash, and yeah, I got a hefty chunk of change for it.
You would not give $100 to Miss Click.
For what?
I don't know. Entering her into the Resident Evil series.
I think she'd have to do something for that $100.
Oh man, is it the yellow whitish book? Is it that one?
The yellow whitish book.
Yeah.
No, just look up the Resident Evil
it's a
Archives
big ass
Volume
book.
1 and 2 or something like that.
Right. So I've got these two, and it looks like a white yellowish book, Resident Evil in red with like a pattern around it, and it says Archives. That's the one.
Yeah, that's it.
Those are nice books.
They're
Yeah,
worth
they
a
are.
lot of money.
Yes, they are.
$100 for the paperback, yeah.
Light guns on LCD. Yeah, they got the big buck hunter that's already out now. So motherfuckers are already, of course, modding that thing to make it something that's actually worth a damn that you want to play. But I can wait because A, I don't have room for the fucking thing anyways, and B, I'd rather have just because I think they're gonna do like House of the Dead. If they're smart, they'll do House of the Dead, House of the Dead 2. I mean, it'd be cool to have House of the Dead 3, but if they can't do that one because of, I believe that was a Model 3 game or something, Virtual Cop 1 and 2. That'd fucking rule.
All right. Any other? Wait, Gadget Mike says if Jay actually finishes Monster Hunter, can we have Sean play Silk Song for like 30 minutes?
Maybe.
Oh, he didn't say no. Wow.
There we go.
So
He's not gonna finish it.
you guys
though.
can work. I will finish it. I will finish the campaign. I will not like 100% it.
No, I think you're gonna get bodied in it because even though it's easier, it's still Monster Hunter.
I'm gonna get bodied for sure. That's part of the
Yeah.
entertainment, isn't it? I'm not going into this thinking it's gonna be like whoosh whoosh whoosh. I'm having a good time. It's gonna be. I'm going into this with like, okay, I don't know what I'm doing. I know I have to put in a lot of hours to get good. I'm gonna die a lot. I'm gonna curse a lot. It's gonna be frustrating. But I got a very supportive audience at least to go through it all.
Do you have some hunters to go with you so that you've got people to help you?
I've gotten a lot of offers. I'm gonna see how Thursday goes because I think Thursday is gonna be a lot of me just trying to figure out what weapon I want and trying to figure out how to move and do stuff. But the week after, I think we're gonna see maybe hunters come along and help. And I also don't want to
But I
get
think-
carried either, right? So
Well, I think too, like I think you have to understand about the game is like it's not one that like it at least for me personally, like you find your sweet spot in the learning curve and then everything gets easier. You're still gonna die like on some of the bigger monsters because it's a lot like, you know, that Soulsy feel where like you're fighting this big creature and yeah, you can get the combos down, you can get your supplies down, and then all of a sudden, you know, some big ass dragon looking thing swoops in and you're like, oh, they're fighting each other now, great, maybe one will kill the other, and then their body like flies into you and you faint, you have to go back to the start
oh
and then
no.
run back out. Yeah, so I mean I would say yeah, definitely, you know, get your bearing straight and then like probably invite somebody in.
Like I'm familiar with some of that like bullshit. Like Castlevania has some of that bullshit. I understand it's not to this level, but I played I think up to the first boss in Dark Souls. I think it was like a Minotaur boss on a bridge. I was like, yeah, I just destroyed this guy, and then I walk through a door and a dragon comes by and just like torches you. I was like, what the hell? So if it's like that, at least going into it with that expectation,
Yeah.
I'm not you know, it's all about mindset. And if hundreds and thousands of other people can do it, I should be able to.
It doesn't mean it was done without frustration though.
Oh, I'm going to be very frustrated. I'm going to get like a stress ball to squeeze or something.
All right, shut up. We have a question. What is the cheese sandwich thing that Sean talks about? It's a chopped cheese. It's not a cheese sandwich. And it's delicious. And I want one now.
What
But
the hell
I'll-
was with the pizza the other night where you had the Pepto sitting on top of
What?
it?
Yeah, I mean, you gotta be prepared. It gives me acid reflux,
Jeez.
but it's still
Jeez.
good. I'm still gonna eat it.
Any other questions?
Yeah, chopped cheese, delicious.
Okay.
You think we'll get any info on Bayonetta 3 this year? Yes. Hey Jay, will you be streaming the Balloon Wonder Woo demo? I believe he will.
Only if Sean watches me.
I watch. I'm a silent watcher.
That's okay. That's all I need to know. That you're in the corner staring, smoking your cigarette.
Just lurking.
All I see is the tip of his cigarette just like lighting up.
No, because it's annoying. Like if I go into that's why I have like weird alt accounts that nobody knows about. Because if I go into like a normal person's stream and then like everyone's trying to talk to me and I'm like, fuck off. You're supposed to be watching the streamer, not me. I'm just here for the show. Like, I don't know. I think it's kind of disrespectful.
I
Slower,
wonder who you are in the
dense,
chat then.
sexy.
Yeah, I can talk it. I'm curious to play it. And someone was asking if the whole Monster Hunter thing is streamed. It's going to be the whole new crux of my channel, honestly, because my channel, I don't know if you guys have noticed, the YouTube channel has doubled. My Twitch audience has doubled. So I have more Monster Hunter
out.
followers than anything else right now. So while the regular content's going to keep going on Hey Jay, there's going to be a lot more Monster Hunter. We're going to have Monster Hunter Journals now, which is like the Castlevania Diary. All of it's going to be streamed on Twitch, and then I'm going to have impressions of those streams put on YouTube if you just want to get the highlights.
Gotta invite me, bro.
Is Castlevania getting
Yes.
shelved for Tuesday?
I haven't decided yet. I'm probably going to...
Better not be. No, you can't just move from one franchise to another like a dick riding whore. You have to stick with what you're doing and finish it out, Jason.
It's going to take me
Come on.
6 months to finish this thing.
Whatever. You shouldn't have opened your mouth about Monster Hunter.
They seduced me, though, man. So
Not my problem.
I'm going to go where I see results, sir. But no, Tuesday I probably will play Castlevania. Any other questions?
Yes, there are. What is on a chopped cheese? So it's basically a burger patty that's cut up very, very finely. Put onions in while you're cooking it. You got to have the proper seasoning. American cheese. You put 2 slices of American cheese on it, and then you chop it up again. So it's very, very fine. Put it on a like hoagie style roll, something like that. Lettuce, tomato, ketchup, mayonnaise. It's like a burger sub, but because of how finely chopped it is, it makes it taste different. It's a big thing in bodegas in New York, and there's a place near me that serves them, and I've never had a chopped cheese before, and I wanted to have one, and I was very impressed.
Can you please explain to me what a bodega is? Because I still have not grasped the concept.
It's just like a corner store. You go into, like your standard corner store. They might serve hot food in there. You get your, smokes, sodas, candies. Very limited grocery area. Maybe some fresh fruits. It's an all-in-one store, basically.
We just
yes,
have shitty liquor stores.
I put lettuce in my sandwiches.
Fancy. That's elegance.
Okay, I think that's it.
That's elegance right there.
Oh, wait, there's one more. Third-party Switch controller recommendations. Really, if you don't mind the wired stuff, I think the PDP stuff is good for the price point. Yeah,
Heard a lot of good things
I
about
like PDP stuff.
All right, so now we're going to get into what's coming up this week in all of our worlds. Let's start with Greg. Anything exciting coming down the pipe for you this week?
Yes, as a matter of fact, finally it was a miracle. I don't even know how. I kid you not. I tried like every troubleshooting guide out there, like changing power supply options, like checking my USB 3 port, my USB 3 hub, and I could not get my the Elgato HD60S to work with the software. And then I tried all these different USB cords, and someone said, try this one. I ordered it from Amazon, still didn't work, didn't recognize it. Then all of a sudden I plug it into OBS, which it has never worked before, and it started working. So finally I'm gonna at least get to starting A Hat in Time.
Ooh.
I don't know if I'm going to stream it or just maybe do like a post, like do a review of it, but I'm definitely going to do something this week. I'm still back on the news grind over on PC Invasion, but that's about it.
Also, I really liked your cleanup of the GameCube. I think you did that in your Instagram stories.
Oh yeah.
You should make that more accessible. It was interesting to watch.
Yeah, and someone else mentioned too to run through some Super Nintendo games. So I think I might, start doing some like smaller like stuff there, and just kind of, because I constantly go through and like I was trying to purge a lot of the stuff. That's why you always see stuff behind me, because I'm like opening boxes and I've got like, oh, here's my import Saturn and both my original Xboxes that I have, and like, a bunch of other random stuff in there. So
Yeah, and also like you did a gym video too once that was all like gaming related. Like you've got some good Instagram game. Make that stuff live on so that we can share it.
Yeah, when are you going to start your YouTube?
one day, maybe.
I mean,
don't know.
record that stuff. Just upload them on there.
No pressure. Just preserve the stuff you're already making because it's good.
Thanks.
All right, Sean, what about you?
Also, I'm terrible.
What?
I really haven't No idea what I'm doing this week.
Well-
I'm sure something will come up.
well, yeah.
There could be a sponsor spot from Opera Browser if they get back with me. Granted, they did email me like the first week of January, so I probably waited too long. But hey, we'll see. But yeah, I have no idea.
Aren't you reviewing a game tomorrow?
I don't think I'm gonna do a dedicated on it because I don't think I'm gonna have time to finish it because I'm only on like level 3 and I believe there's like 9 levels because it's challenging.
Oh.
Maybe if I can get somewhere tonight.
Fair. Dave, anything you're working on?
Obviously, working on the clips, and we now have was it on Anchor FM? We actually have an audio version of the podcast that I put up.
We have to get those links
so-
up as well.
Yeah, I think I put. I'm not sure. I thought I put it in the down in the description, but if not, I'll make sure to add it. And then outside of that, I got the import
Ooh.
of this in, so I want to actually try and eventually do an episode on it. My channel's kind of fallen behind because I've been focusing all my time on the on this one.
That's right. Plug your channel. So, Dave, what do you do over at Troun's Realm?
Pretty much just cover the physical games, each individual game on the Switch. How big it is, how much of the stuff is actually on the cartridge, or if you need to download a bunch of extra stuff, because that seems to be a real big issue with Switch games. Developers are real lazy with that. And you just look up Treon's Realm on YouTube and you'll find my channel. I haven't been able to upload in like a month or so I gotta get back on that.
I dropped the link in the chat if anyone wants to check that out. Great for anyone who's collecting for the Switch or who cares about physical games. Great. Over on Hey Jay, there's Castlevania stream on Tuesday, the first Monster Hunter stream on Thursday. Wait, Castlevania Tuesday, Monster Hunter Thursday. I am working on a video for Yoku's Island Express,
Love that.
but I don't
Love it.
But I don't know if that's going to come out before Thursday or if it's going to be another Monster Hunter video coming out to talk about the stuff that's happening on Thursday.
Gotta
Milking
ride them
it.
numbers.
Gotta play with what works,
That's what she said.
amongst other things. Otherwise, reminder: we do have NintendoNinjas.com, which is a new site with a bunch of Nintendo hobbyists, which are writing a lot about collectibles these days. So it is not a news site. Don't go there for your news. But if you want to go read up on some different communities in the Nintendo world, you've got people. Actually, today there's an article that came out about the chiptune community, which was quite interesting. So there's about like an article or two that comes out every day. It's kind of a slow trickle right now, but we just launched a couple weeks ago, and it's a pretty cool place.
When you launch on the Monster Hunter Ninjas site,
It's going to be a subset of Nintendo Ninjas, and first,
Okay.
let me become a hunter, sir. All right. Otherwise, we'll see you next week, same time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time on this channel. Until next time, keep it classy, or as Sean would say,
keep it crass.
or as Greg would say,
A little bit of both.
or as Dave might say.
A little bit of all three.
All
That's also what she said.
right. Have a good night, everyone. Take care.